Ciao a tutti e benvenuti al nostro primo episodio di Walk, Talk and Learn Italian. Io sono Francesca e fra qualche secondo ci collegheremo con Mark. Mark is in Italy and we are going to find out where he is and what he has in store for us today. Allora, siete pronti? Mark, a te la linea!
I've seen a great sign on the side of a tram here in Milan, and it's an advert for a company called Dovevivo, which is basically a company which helps you organise a flatmate or to rent out a room in your house or your flat or so on. So the sign says, hai un immobile da affittare, dove vivo, il tuo inquilino ideale. Now, there are a few interesting items of vocabulary here. First of all, un immobile, that's any kind of lodging, a place that you want to rent out. So it may be a flat, a house, or a room even. Un immobile. And then it says affittare. Affittare is to rent out. So, do you have a flat to rent out? Dove vivo? Il tuo inquilino ideale. Now, inquilino you may not recognize, but it's the kind of word that you can sometimes guess from the context. Because if you've got a flat to rent out, then you're looking for the ideal tenant. Un inquilino is a tenant. Now, from a grammatical point of view, what interests me here is the da. Da is used with the infinitive here, affittare, but in English we don't really translate it, and that's what makes it tricky to know when to use it when you're going back into Italian. I think we need to look at this in greater detail, so let's go back to the studio to find out how da is used with the infinitive. Torniamo in studio.
Grazie Mark, this is very interesting. Let's have a look at da plus infinitive into more detail. Da plus infinitive is a very common structure in Italian which uses preposition da, which we already know. But be careful because this is a very specific use of preposition da, nothing to do with da Milano, for example, from Milan. And I must say this is also very common in Italian. You can find this structure both in spoken and written Italian. So it's really worth spending a few minutes analyzing this. So we can observe in the sentence you have brought up, hai un immobile da affittare, that we have a noun, un immobile, a property, as you said, Mark, and the structure da plus infinitive, da affittare. So this is what the structure we want to analyze today, but first let's see how we can translate this into English. And I'm going to provide you with more than one translation into English. They probably sound a bit awkward, but it's for learning purposes, okay? So don't be too harsh with my English. A first translation I want to suggest is, do you have a property to rent out? Or we could also say, do you have a property to be rented out? Alternatively, do you have a property that needs renting out? Or even, do you have a property that it's worth renting out? So as you can see, there are different ways of translating this into English, and at times maybe one works better than the other, but we will discuss this as we are seeing more examples. Ad esempio, another sentence containing this plus infinitive is Milano è una città da visitare. Non è vero, Mark? Sei a Milano? È bellissima. Allora, how can we translate this sentence into English? Well, first of all, let's analyze it and we can see that we have again a noun, una città, a city, and da plus infinitive, da visitare. So again, let's think of possible translations into English. We could say Milan is a city to visit, Milan is a city to be visited, or even Milan is a city that must be visited, or alternatively, Milan is a city that is worth visiting. As I said before, probably in English you would say, oh, you've got to visit Milan, but this is just for you to master this new structure. Let's see some more examples. Luigi è una persona da conoscere. Luigi is a person worth knowing. Luigi is a person to know. Or E sarà un'estate da ricordare, speriamo. Sarà un'estate da ricordare. It will be a summer to remember or to be remembered. And one more example. Questa è proprio una ricetta da provare. This is really a recipe worth trying or a recipe which must be tried. Allora, to sum up, we could say that in English, da plus infinitive can be conveyed in two possible ways, either to plus infinitive, ad esempio una ricetta da provare, a recipe to try, or to plus be plus past participle, a recipe to be tried. Okay? But there is also another thing I want to tell you today. You get a 2-for-1 offer. So, as the use of da plus infinitive together with indefinites. Now, I know you might wonder, what are indefinites? It's very easy. Indefinites are words you are already familiar with, like qualcosa, something, or niente, nothing, troppo, too much, molto, much. Let's see some examples to see these words in some sentences. Ad esempio, vuole qualcosa da bere? I'm sure you have already come across this sentence when in Italy, when ordering drinks in a bar or a cafe in Italy. Vuole qualcosa da bere? Would you like something to drink? Or qui non c'è niente da mangiare. Here there is nothing to eat or nothing to be eaten. Okay, some more examples. A Roma c'è molto da vedere. We all know that in Rome there is a lot to see or to be seen. Oggi ho troppo da fare. Today I have too much to do or there is too much to be done. I hope these examples have clarified things for you a bit more. As always, there would be so much more to say. Ci sarebbe ancora molto da dire. But for now, I'll hand you back over to Mark in Milan.
Grazie Francesca. Allora, oggi ho molto da fare. Allora, è tutto. Grazie mille e arrivederci.